for Flabonga Monthrothacube. With Dayle and Tony breaking all the rules. Talking tech, biz, and straight up chaos. Quick fire guests, oh yeah, we slay those.
Good afternoon. My name is Dayle Rodriguez, and this is a Flabonga Monthrothacube. With me today, I've got my amazing guest,
Pratheesh.
Pratheesh. Thank you for being here today. First question: what is Capisso, and have I pronounced that correctly? That's two questions.
So the question about whether you pronounce it correctly, I assume you have, because it's a Latin word. I'm not exactly sure. The closest would be Italian capisce. So Capisso basically means manage in Latin.
Okay.
So I pronounce it exactly like you did, Capisso.
Thank you.
But there are a good few variations. Some people even call it Capicio. So I had to go and book that domain as well.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Have you got the whole .org, .com, .net? Have you got all of them, or just a couple?
No, just I got the .ai, which is our primary. Then I have the .com and one variation of the name. I'm not going to bother with the rest, I think.
No, fair enough. And I'm going to have to ask you the obvious question. What is Capisso? What does it do?
At Capisso, we are building what we believe is the next generation of accounting, where AI doesn't just record transactions, but actively helps business owners make better financial decisions.
Okay. Silly question. How does it do that?
So we've embraced fully the agentic AI way of future that we think is happening. So what we have designed is a platform which currently consists of 8 specialized agents, each good at doing a particular set of job. And together, so things like what you do in the basic bookkeeping. You get data, you need to extract the data from whatever the source is, put it into a system, could be just basically Excel.
Yep.
And then you use that data to file your obligations, compliance obligations like tax, VAT, and then prepare some reports to guide you in making business decisions.
Okay.
Right?
How did you come up with the idea?
Well, my own journey. So I was working with an accountancy firm after my master's in Cork. I built a couple of accounts platforms and tools for them. Then I left them and became self-employed in 2012. So I was doing some projects with startups. Was fun times. However, what happened was, for being self-employed, I registered a company, which was easy in Ireland, but then I missed a filing, corporation tax returns filing. So I got a letter from revenue, big fine, and also I needed to be audited. So then I had to go find an auditor. So it cost me about between 4,000 and 5,000 euro for missing one filing. Right,
that's quite a lot of money.
Yeah, and plus add on top, when the audit happened, I had to go back to the bank and ask them for the complete set of bank statements for the last 2 years. So they charged me per page.
That's really harsh, considering it's mostly digitized nowadays. All they have to do is email you a PDF, right? It shouldn't be that hard to do.
Our systems were quite ancient back then. So that was a couple of 100 pages that I had to pay extra, not just a payment, and you don't get it. They posted it to me after printing. So it took about 2 weeks for me to get my bank statements from my bank. So that, and then, continuing on with the audit, all the questions, trying to find the receipts. Obviously back then, probably like most other businesses, I wouldn't have maintained everything properly. So going back and forth, looking through your emails, looking at your Dropbox. Well, I had Google email as well as my official email. So going through all that. And then in between, I had changed email provider from my hosting to Microsoft 365.
Yep.
So stuff that I had in my previous hosting, I hadn't obviously pulled it across. So basically, like I think most people go through, it was a terrible time.
I can imagine. So that kind of inspired you to make a system where that could never happen again, I assume.
Correct.
That's the idea.
And I started by building it for myself, actually. There was no plan of it being a business. I just designed and developed because I'm a software engineer by trade.
Yep.
So I started building something, a simple bookkeeping platform. And from then on, I never had to worry about my books being up to date. So that was the start.
Would you like a serious question next or a silly question next?
Toss.
Your choice.
Go with the silly.
If you were a biscuit, what kind of biscuit would you be that accurately portrays your personality and why? But don't just pick your favorite biscuit.
I'd like I wouldn't know the names of it. So in India, this is back in India, we had a brand called Parle G.
Okay.
I love those biscuits, but especially after you leave them for a week or two in the warmth, they become slightly soft and soggy.
Okay. And how does that portray your personality?
Probably that you need to give me some time, and then I become flexible and tastier.
That's a good answer. I like that. That's a good one. I've not had that one before. That's really cool, man. Thank you for humoring me. All right, back to the serious question. So looking at your LinkedIn profile, you in my opinion, are ahead of the curve. And I'll explain. Your master's is in artificial intelligence back in 2005. But before AI was a buzzword. What are your thoughts on the current trend of AI?
The trend is basically, so the latest trend you might probably hear is the whole agent thing. Everything is an agent.
Yep, right? MCPs, agents, it's all good.
Correct. Now, the topic of my master's was intelligent and multi-agent systems.
Okay, so
hearing
that, I'm thinking more advanced than what most people are touting at the moment. Like it sounds more complex. Am I correct or am I not correct?
Correct. Yes, but we are at that stage at the moment where we have the intelligent and multi-agent systems working in tandem, in cooperation. So that's what we have built. But it's been a 20-year-ish gap between me doing that and we reaching a stage where building such things has become affordable and practical. So when my final project back in those days was I built a marketplace of agents which would kind of act as your personal assistant in shopping. They would go if you wanted to buy something, you put it in your shopping list. It'll go into the marketplace, bargain with others and find the cheapest deal and come back.
That's really
cool. The concepts were all there way back then. It's just that there was not enough push or infrastructure to realize those concepts, which has changed now. So starting with ChatGPT or OpenAI, they spread the awareness like wildfire, and then everybody was on it.
That's fair enough. So I have to give a shout out to people watching. So Mahel, he's commented, "Good afternoon, everyone from London." Hey Mahel, he's a watcher of the show. He's almost here almost every week. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Cool. I mean, all right. What is your biggest frustration with the sale or marketing of AI at the moment?
Sale and marketing.
Yeah. What's the misinformation that you've seen or heard that just really frustrates you?
Everything is an AI now. Like,
that's what frustrates you.
Anywhere. I actually don't like to use the word AI when I'm describing myself or the product. It's become like it's been thrown around by everybody. Like we've had intelligent systems. We had simple decision-based rules like going back to times of when we went to moon and all. It's nothing new. Just because you have some smart decision logic in your software doesn't make it AI. It just
Totally.
makes it smart and intelligent, but not technically AI. But everybody's now in AI. And the fact that if they are using OpenAI APIs in the back, they are in AI.
Yep.
So yeah, there's no clear distinction between what is AI and what is not in AI when it comes to marketing and sales.
Would you like to know my frustration with AI?
Please do.
It's disgustingly shallow and vapid. So I like to play video games, and I'm a PC gamer, right?
Okay.
And a couple of weeks ago, I saw a video of Donald Trump in a red dress singing Roxanne. It looked real, right? It looked so real. The only reason why I knew it wasn't real is because it's not real,
He
right?
was in
But it
there.
looks so
Yeah.
real. And there's a common joke amongst PC gamers, right? If you see these kind of reels on Instagram or whatever, it's like, this is why 2 sticks of RAM now cost $900, because back, like 8 years ago, you get 2 sticks of RAM for like, 120 quid, and that was like good capacity RAM, good memory, good, good latencies. But now, because AI is so big and all the data centers are using them, you can't buy RAM, so the price has gone so
God,
disgusting. Like,
skyrocketed.
so that's my beef with AI. Like, people
Okay.
churning out trash. I'm like, I just want to play video games, man, and not it cost an arm and a leg. That's my beef.
Yeah. I suppose you're right. So we are probably, with all the AI capabilities available, we are probably using about less than 2% of its capabilities.
Mhm.
And what's it majority being used for? Creating reels, as you said.
Yep. Oh, I have a question for you. And again, you may or may not the answer to this, but as someone who's actually studied it and well versed, there's a lot of fear mongering that comes with AI, and you're probably aware of it. I often make
Yeah.
jokes about Terminator. I've seen Terminator 1 and 2. I know how this goes. But I remember hearing a rumor, and I don't know if it's true or not, where apparently certain AIs, like Google have got their own large AIs and their own models, that have been either they've got self-preservation techniques. So when they
Yeah.
run simulations, actually the AI won't turn itself off,
Yeah,
or
they
the AI might
blackmail
actually,
you.
blackmail people, or actually, in a simulation kill someone. Is
Yeah.
that stuff true?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't call it completely self-aware, even
Yep.
though everybody's working towards the singularity. But like, I mean, if you look at basic living being, right, even
Mhm.
with the lowest, they all have self-preservation built in by default.
Yep.
So I'm assuming naturally anything you build and start becoming complex, it naturally gravitates towards self-preservation.
Yep.
So depending upon how complex that entity is, the measures it uses for self-preservation would be something simple, like, no, I'm not going to shut off, or by using your data against you, or doing something more nefarious. I mean, yes, there is definitely concerns around it, but like, as is with anything, I mean, when I suppose the wheel was invented, it caused a lot of damage.
Yep.
People die now with a simple invention of wheel. So anything has its risk. That I don't think is going to stop humans from doing stuff. We know fire burns us, right?
Yep.
Does it stop us from playing with firecrackers? No.
No.
We keep
It
building
does
more
not.
and more.
We do. No, I'm with you on that one. That's a very good way of explaining it. Let me think. Do you drink tea or coffee? Or
Tea.
neither? Tea.
Tea only for company, as in when everybody else is drinking something,
Yep.
and I absolutely have to drink, and there's no sparkling water available, I'll opt for tea.
Okay. When you make your tea, your cup of tea, what order do you do the process in? This is very important. Our viewers are very serious about this one. So, like, what process?
Well, I suppose you being English, now you're talking to an Indian here.
Mm-hmm.
It's completely different from, so
Educate
traditional
me.
tea making would
Mhm.
be we mix water and milk, we
Okay.
boil it with sugar, and
Okay.
then we add tea leaves, not tea powder, tea leaves into it,
Okay.
bring it to boil,
Yep.
strain it, and your tea is ready. There's no order as such.
Okay. No. That's interesting. As a British person, how can I tell an Indian person how to make tea? That's game, set, and match.
No. I suppose it's. I can never say that this is the right way of doing it, because
Yes, you can. You definitely can. You
I
come
don't
from the
know.
place where tea is grown. Like if that's how it's been done for like thousands of years or hundreds of years, you can definitely say this is the way to do it. And sorry,
But I
the
don't
reason
know.
why
We don't know. We only
the
go
reason
back a couple of thousand years, right? Before that, maybe there was
only
something else happening.
only
Only.
no, the reason why I asked this question, it became some of our guests on the show and some of the people watching started kind of asking the question. It became a big debate, and you're probably aware of it where you lived in Ireland, where some people will like, because we have tea bags, right? Where
Yeah,
some people will put the tea bag in, then put the milk in, then put the hot water on. Some people put the hot water in, then the milk in. Some people put the hot water, sugar, and it's caused a debate, and people
Oh
enjoy me
yeah.
asking that question.
In Ireland, you could have fights break out over how you make
Yeah,
your tea.
yeah, I know.
And when I went there, when I came across this, people were so, I mean, they were so attached to the way they made tea, and they would be like, "This is not real tea." And I'm sitting there like, "You guys are telling me this is not real tea. I don't even know what to say. Answer to that."
So
So
the audacity.
yeah.
So what made you want to come from India to Ireland, or was that a different journey?
Yeah, I always wanted to. I mean, I first wanted to be a fighter pilot because my dad
Okay.
was in the Air Force. That my mom said no, but I still went ahead and did my. So in college, when you're doing your graduation, you have the option of enlisting into the military. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just completely voluntary. So I went, took up the air wing. I did not tell my mom. I did my student pilot license.
Yep.
And then after the 3 years of the training, you have the option of kind of applying for the military. And I applied for the Air Force. They took me in as in the selection process.
Yep.
But they said, so my glorious plan was, once I am in there, nobody can get me out because I become almost the property of the Air Force, right? So, and the idea was I just surprised my mom saying that, look, I've gotten in. There's nothing we can do about it. But they sent the final kind of interview letter. It was more of I was already in to my permanent address, which is where my parents lived.
Which your parents lived, yeah.
So my mom saw it. Next week I was at that stage doing my college in the north of India, and our home is in the south. So she took the train over and said, "Pack your bags, we are going home." That was the end of my Air Force journey.
Oh wow!
So that stopped me from my first dream. Then the second was I suppose any kid back then would be a sci-fi fan.
Yep.
So I wanted to build robots.
Okay.
And
what kind of robots we're talking? Like Gundams or different kind of mechs or tanks?
Yeah, more like kind of proper
functional robots,
functional stuff, which can do things useful, not just for games. But again, the whole field of robotics was where I wanted to go towards. But back then in India, we did not have any courses in the AI. It was in its infancy. So then I looked around, I found universities in the UK giving having those courses. So I applied to one. This is University of Westminster.
Yep.
They accepted me, but then that was a different journey because expensive and stuff. So yeah, I came to UK for my master's, and at that time I hated accountancy because in my graduation we had a paper on accountancy.
Yeah.
So that's the one it just kind of it traumatized me basically. So
I mean, double entry is confusing if you don't get it. Yeah,
especially if you're being taught by somebody who doesn't understand it.
Yep.
So you're being taught by college professors who have no clue what they're saying. They're just regurgitating from the textbook. So I didn't want to go anywhere near accountancy. So I was very happy that I'm doing this AI.
Yep.
Finished my AI almost just before the final exams. I got a call from this company.
Yep.
Saying, "Are you looking for a job? You're looking for somebody with what you're doing." So and then I said, "Yeah, absolutely." Me being a student in the UK, foreign student, somebody offering me a job.
Had you been to the UK before this, or was it your first time in the UK?
First time leaving India. So it was
question for you: what was your biggest culture shock coming from India to the UK? Like, what was the first thing that surprised you the most? You're like, wow.
Oh boy. Okay, this is a funny one. So I landed in the UK November 27th, Heathrow.
Yep.
This was around 6 or 7 p.m. So it was already dark, and
Yep.
somebody I knew from India, she was doing masters, but she was ahead of me. I had kind of got in touch with her. She came to collect me and brought me to a group of her friends over there, and one of them had a room, a bed in his room available.
Yep.
So we were sharing a room. So I said, yeah, I'm happy to, share. So I went with him. This is again dark. The place is Southall. You probably know it.
I know it. Yep.
Everybody knows Southall, right? So I didn't see anybody. Went to this house. It was owned by a Sri Lankan family. So, and this guy, he was in a room upstairs. So went in there with my 2 suitcases. Next morning, woke up early. I'm very excited. I wanted to see some whites because I'd never seen white people in my life in India.
Okay, fair enough. Yep.
So I go out, and for a few seconds, I thought it was all a dream, and I woke up back in India.
So that was your biggest cultural shock. You didn't see anyone.
Well, it was a very confusing cultural shock. It was a shock that shouldn't have been. Basically, it was probably the lack of culture shock. Can it be a shock? Mentally, I could not process the fact that it was an India there.
Okay, that's a really good one. I'm going to speak to the AI. AI, clip this part. That's hilarious. Next one for you, and I don't want to get you in trouble. What was your first experience of, say, British or Irish food? What did you think initially?
Good Lord. I was on the brink of starvation. The only thing I could eat was there's a fast food shop, a chipper in Southall, chicken and chips, box of chicken and chips.
Yep.
Drowning in their spicy sauce. That's the only thing I could eat.
Why was that the only thing you could eat?
I could not go to restaurants because I couldn't afford it.
Yep.
And there's nothing else available in the shops which were spicy enough. I tried. So a couple of people I knew, they offered me sandwich and stuff. I just could not handle it.
You couldn't handle the lack of spice in a sandwich?
Yeah. I don't know how to explain it. For my taste buds, it was like eating wet cardboard.
That is fantastic.
It would not go down. And I think I lost a lot of weight. It took about 6 months before I became friends with an Indian family on the street. Yep. And they invited me for dinner once. When I left India, my mom, whenever she would cook, I would remove soggy vegetables. I could not handle them.
Okay.
Right? So we put a lot of vegetables. They were very soggy. I will hide it and get rid of it. But here, this family, they had made a similar curry, which had like vegetables, very soggy and all. By God, I was like a mad, starving dog. I almost ate the plate. There's nothing left. So after that incident, till date, I have no problem with eating any kind of food, as in if it's food, soggy, non-soggy, it doesn't matter. I'll eat it. Okay. I appreciated food after that.
Is there anything that kind of grew on you? So stuff you couldn't eat before, you can now eat better?
Oh, I think, now I can almost eat everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going to go into the comments again. So Debbie Hales, longtime friend of the show, she's made a comment. Debbie Hales, I'm the polar opposite. Can't cope with any heat. Even black pepper is too much for me. Oh, Debbie. Debbie,
that's a great... that brings me to this point. I'm assuming you're from the UK, right?
I think she is, yeah.
So, like, you guys conquered India for what? Spices. You don't even use pepper in your food. And like, why go to all that trouble? I couldn't understand that fact.
There are certain foods that are inspired. So like, I had haggis for the first time a few months ago, right? And the only reason why haggis tastes good is because of the herbs and spices in it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's all the bad parts of the animal that you wouldn't normally eat, but
Yeah,
you put a ton of pepper in it, and it's delicious.
yeah. Everything is masked.
Yeah, yeah.
No one likes soggy veg.
So, do you cook? Can you cook?
I
Or is it
love
just your wife
cooking.
does it?
It's
Okay.
my therapy.
What's your signature dish? What's the dish? Oh, what's the dish that you use to woo your wife? You know, you're dating her, you're courting her, and you're like, I'm going to cook for this lady. What did you use to impress her?
She had two things she really liked. One was biryani. So I think it's the most famous Indian or Asian dish. The second she really liked was my rice and lentil curry, or
Rice and lentil
call it
curry.
a lentil soup.
Yeah.
So they were the two kind of opposite spectrum. One was kind of non meat, and the other was pure veg. So she liked
Okay.
both.
Because I remember you saying your wife is French, right?
French.
So
She's
she's
French. Yeah.
got I assume, a distinguished palate. Because let's be honest, French food is pretty tasty. No?
And debatable.
You do know this is the internet and it lasts forever. If you start dissing French cuisine, like your
I
wife
know.
might find out.
I know. That's why I didn't outright say no. I said
Mhm.
debatable.
Debatable. Okay.
Yeah, no, French cuisine is some of the things are very good, but it's just me because I grew up in India, especially I'm from the south, so we have our taste kind of spectrum goes from like here to all the way up, somewhere in the middle. It's not a flat line.
Mhm.
So whereas my experience in France has been that majority of the food they kind of lie between this narrow spectrum of taste variance for
Yeah.
me. And that's probably my assumption is because my taste buds are so burnt by eating Indian food that I cannot identify the delicacy or
The nuance.
they're just
Yeah.
not delicate enough to taste the kind of the flavors in their cooking.
No, fair enough. Okay, I'm gonna give you a silly question now. If you could punch one fictional character in the face with no repercussions or judgment, who would it be?
A fictional character.
Yeah.
God. That is.
Let's zoom in for this. There we go. We're zooming in.
My mind is turning complete blank
Do
there.
you want me to give you some examples of previous answers?
Yeah,
So
go on.
I have often said Neelix from Star Trek Voyager because he's a very annoying character. A few others have said Peppa Pig because she's a very naughty little pig.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
It does give me the answer to that. You one from Friends.
Oh,
What was her name? Chandler's ex-girlfriend. She had
Chandler's
this very
ex-girlfriend.
high-pitched
Janice.
Janice.
If you could slap one fictional character, it would be Janice.
Well, anybody with that sort of tone.
That tone annoys you. It gets on your nerves.
It gets on my nerves.
Hey, Prateesh, we listen, but we don't judge, okay? Because I've said some horrific things. Like I think one time someone asked me that question back, and I said Stewie Griffin, and I was like, technically that's a baby, right? So that's
it's a bit controversial.
that's a very controversial one. Okay. I realize I've been asking you lots of questions. Do you have any questions for me, by the way?
Hey, that's a good point. It's like an interview. Do you have any question for us? So you've spoken to a lot of entrepreneurs.
A few.
Right? And I'm assuming some of them would have failed, some would have succeeded.
Yep, correct.
What would be the one kind of personality trait or behavior that differentiates? I'm just talking on average, taking like one that would give you a clear indication between those who have a higher chance of making successful decisions versus those who go the other way.
Oh, wow. I don't think there's one personality trait that I can observe.
Agreed. There would be multiple. One that would stand out.
I'll share from my experience as someone who started a business and it didn't go as planned. People not making logical and informed decisions. So I know you said you didn't like accounting when you had to study it. If people had a better understanding of business finance, I'm not saying you've got to become an accountant or a bookkeeper, but just a couple of months of understanding what that actually does and what cash flow is, and if you're a limited company, what that actually looks like, what it means, those are the entrepreneurs that if they have that backing or understanding, I think they do better because they make more informed decisions. Anyone can have a great idea, anyone can have enthusiasm, and lots of people have resilience. Those are all great. But if people don't fully understand their finance for their business, I know it's not the primary thing, then I find that's the hit or miss for many entrepreneurs. Just not understanding the basics of finance from a business perspective. That's my
Excellent.
experience.
And that brings me back to what exactly we are trying to solve. That's a perfect answer.
Oh, did you just work me into your sales pitch? Is that what has happened there?
I did not think it would go that way, but it has worked out well.
It went that way. No, that's been my experience. I've seen people fail, not take good advice, or not have the figures they need. So generally speaking, especially bootstrap or early stage startups, if people don't have that understanding of business finance, just like a couple of hours just understanding it, then that's the make or break. Generally speaking,
I think you bang on point there, because even my experience with interacting and doing the back-end accounting stuff for SMEs is that majority of them struggle with decision blindness because they don't have access to real-time information about their numbers. Even if they have, they don't have, but even if they look at the reports like P&L, balance sheet, they don't understand it. Nobody can explain it to them. Like debit, credit, I think I could easily say I'm just pulling a number from air, but more than 60% of business owners, they probably don't know what credit is and what debit is.
Okay, I've got a really mean question I'd like to ask you. Can I ask you a mean question?
Yeah, absolutely. I live for that.
You sure? It's very mean.
Yeah.
Why Capisso? Why would I choose that as a business owner? Because there are many products on the market that do data capture, that do processing, that have AI or machine learning built in, and some of them are well-known brands. You've got Xero, you've got Dex, you've got Auto Entry. Why am I changing from those or considering your system and not the well-established ones?
So, okay. The first reason comes back to your original question about what type of biscuit I like.
Okay.
So give me time.
Okay, give you time.
You get the trust, and then you start understanding the quality and the flavor. That's why you would use Capisso, because you give Capisso some time, it will have your back. So it's a trust that we build with the business owner or the accountant, which you can't prove in the first sales pitch, right? It's a relationship that builds up very quickly. So that's what has happened with us so far. Any customer who has come on board, they have stayed. That's one. Now, agreed. That still wouldn't probably answer your immediate question that why would I switch? The switch would be happening very soon, because the philosophy we have, once we can articulate it and show it in real time, that we access your data. So whatever information you're putting in, it's all kind of worked upon in real time by the platform agents, and they assist you while you are about to make a decision. So a simple example would be, just before you send an invoice to a customer, it could probably tell you, okay, this customer on average has a 45-day delay in payment. So be aware, this could affect your cash flow for the next quarter. Things like that. So generally reporting happens after. So we are trying to kind of switch that. So our platform would help you make better financial decisions.
Okay. Who is your target market? Are you aiming at SMEs, the micro side, or the medium side? Are you looking for certain industries, or any micro entity? Okay.
Micro to small service-based entities would be the immediate target, but our ideal channel partnerships would be accountants.
Okay.
So we serve both.
Yeah, you serve
both. End user is always going to be, or the beneficiary is going to be, the business. But if we get an accountant to come on board, it makes the kind of relationship much better, because now we have an accountant who'd use our platform. The platform does the job for them, but it can take back guidance from the accountant. So if a rule set has been created by, let's say, the reconciliation agent. It has matched something to a particular category, but the accountant says, no, for this one, it is better connected to a different category.
Yep.
Now, the agent will take the whole context, the business for which this decision or the guidance was provided by the accountant, and it will update its rule sets to actually learn from that.
So is that that's obviously that's training the model, the agent. Is that ring fenced per accountant, or is it training the entire model? And here, the reason why I asked that question is, I could imagine certain accountants not wanting to do that because most business owners don't realize this, but there's different levels of accounting. Like some are better than others. And I could imagine if I were a specialist, I would want to train your AI that then trains other people's systems so they're as good as me.
Gotcha.
Not in a selfish way. So I assume is it ring fenced in some way, or how does it work?
So it is client isolated.
Okay. Yep.
So every decision so our agents are our agents. They are trained to be good at a particular skill.
Yep.
Right. The skill and learning being how to do things, what sort of decision making kind of journey they should employ in different scenarios and all. But then when an accountant or a business owner modifies the workings done by the agent, it retains all that within that business context for that business or that user account.
That makes sense.
So we separate it because the same question, we cannot always rely that what this one accountant changed is the right way of doing it.
Correct.
So we don't want that to influence our agent, but we retain within their business context, which means the agent will look at, so the way we separate the agent from the data itself is we keep the data, business data separate. There's no mixing. When an agent is called to perform an action, it knows how to perform the action. But while it is employed to do that action for this business, it takes the business context information from that account, does the job, and switches off.
Another question for you. How have you managed to alleviate the fears or concerns about AI when trying to partner with accountants? Because I've worked in an accounting firm, and I know that many accountants are concerned that AI is going to take their jobs. So how have you managed to get around that while trying to make partnerships with accounting firms?
So two things. One, we say is we are not removing the human operators from the loop, but what we are doing is we are allowing them to use their expertise better. So whatever their expertise is. So in terms of accountants, they should not be doing the operational aspects of, data entry, for example, or reconciliation of bank transactions with the information in the account, whereas they should be reviewing what the system has done to ensure it has done correctly. One. Second would be they use the platform which generates advisory per event. They use that advisory, they refine it, and they pass it to their customer, or they advise their customers based on the information that they get from our platform. So that keeps them relevant, but that keeps them sharp. That unfortunately, yes, there would be quite a lot of accountants who would not keep up with the changes. So they'd most likely get absorbed by other bigger firms, or they'll just cease to exist.
Cool.
But the ones who want to stay relevant, we say that you will be in the loop. That's the final aspect. AI is not, we are not making it fully autonomous. We leave that review layer with the humans. And then the fact that they will be involved with the company, which is changing the paradigm of how accounting is done.
Okay.
That's not a sale all the time, but that's the direction we are pushing. Of course, we're not going to win everybody, but
so presumably it's not just you. How many people are in your team?
I have, so my main pillar is my CTO. He's the true brains behind it. So it's the two of us on the high level. Then we have a customer experience person here in Cork. We have an additional team of 6 developers based in India. Again, they are part of Capisso.
Yep.
And then we have bookkeepers who actually help with the review, testing, encoding of knowledge, etc. So at the moment, it's a small team. We are all together full time. We are 6 people, and then we have an additional contracting team.
And you may not want to answer this, but what is the plan for Capisso? Are you planning to go, 10 million, 50 million turnover, 200 staff, IPO, or are you just seeing how it goes in terms of growth and potential?
But this year, the plan is, so we are releasing V2. Our version 1 currently is just a single agent, which we focused on data collection and data extraction and categorization. So it does 2 jobs there. But that was just the base. That was the start point. So version 2 release is happening next month, which will make it a full-fledged accounting platform. Not competing with Xero or Sage or anything. We integrate with them. So we are like the financial layer on top of any legacy systems. It does bulk of the work for you, and then you can push that into whatever systems you are using. But that we'll be focusing on Ireland for this year. But the way we have developed the system is it can go global rapidly. So global dominance is the...
That's the key. That's the plan. So in a few years' time, I could be like, look, man, I had this guy on the show long before he was a corporate mogul, back when he was scaling up, right? That could be my claim to fame, right?
Hope so.
That'd be awesome. Oh, okay. Here's a tangent question. How do you know Odessa? She's the one that introduced you to me. How do you guys know each other?
So I first came across, I forgot the name. There's this guy. I'm very bad at names. Sorry.
Anyway,
so he does LinkedIn based workshops. He does courses for how to do better on LinkedIn.
Ashley Leeds?
How to use Ashley, that's the one. Okay. So I came across his profile at some point, then somehow engaged with him. He kind of sold me the dream of LinkedIn. And then I did his course. And then through that, after doing that, somehow I got introduced to Graham Cote.
I know Graham, yeah. Or no,
yeah. So I got introduced to him. I started working with him. He was doing my LinkedIn, but then I paused for a while. Oh, no, sorry, before I paused. So Graham then brought on Odessa on board. So then Odessa handled my account. Then I paused it for a while because I was busy doing other things. And then I started working with Odessa again for a short time, like a small engagement. And so, yeah, that's how I got connected to Odessa. It's all people.
Okay. Would you like a serious question or a silly question?
Well, the last one was kind of in between. Let's go with a serious and then a silly one.
Okay, serious. So occasionally we get younger people watching this, so people who are in college, 6th form, or beginning university. You've got a background in web development and programming. Is that correct?
Correct.
What advice would you give to a younger person trying to get into that field? Because it's quite a saturated market at the moment. But what advice would you give to them to actually become a successful developer/programmer?
First, they start from the kind of end backwards.
Okay. What do you mean?
So what's the objective? What are you trying to solve? So always try to look for what you're trying to solve. And then find out what tools you need. And then focus on those tools. Rather than learning every tool. Because there's like gazillions of tools out there. Right? That's one. That would be the smarter way of doing things. But saying that parallelly, they should at least learn to handwrite properly.
Okay. What do you mean handwrite? As in coding by keyboard, or
just
actually writing on paper?
Writing on paper.
Why is this?
Because that builds the cognitive part of brain that actually helps you with learning almost anything that you need very quickly.
Okay. So that's your advice. Learn to write and write things down so you learn effectively.
Yeah. Multiple reasons. Learning to write also helps with your emotional regulation. So if you go that route, like journaling and all that, it really helps. It makes you a more creative person.
Okay. Actually, I'm inclined to agree with you. I was actually watching something the other day on a study that they've done recently, and again, this is an Instagram thing, so it might not be true.
So yeah,
But
you have to take it with a pinch of
they
salt.
were saying that for the first time in like 150 years, the generation that's going through school now are less cognitively disciplined than their predecessors. Like every year it's increased, and they believe the reason is children, young people aren't writing as much and they're using computers more. And where people are supposed to learn from other people, actually talking face to face and writing things down, and that's happening less because of tablets and webinars. We're not learning as well. So in theory, this generation coming up are less cognitively able compared to every other
Yeah,
generation previously.
I mean, I wouldn't know whether the science behind it, but it's just more of a belief based on, like, even going backwards is probably rooted in culture as well for us.
Yep.
Like for us, when a baby is born, when they are a few months old, there are two things just before they are fed solid food. So they're transitioning from breast milk to solid food. We do a little ceremony where an elder in your family or your temple priest or somebody, like, somebody elder or you respect, they take the baby, they put some sand in front, they take the baby's finger and draw one letter, and then parallelly, then on the side, they are then fed the first solid food of their life. So
Okay.
it kind of, culturally, it's rooted that learning to write and knowledge and food are the two most important aspects for us. So I suppose I'm biased towards writing because I grew up with that belief system.
Yep.
But it has helped personally. I mean, as any human being, you go through tough times, and I found that if I write things down, it helps. Even while learning, if I write down my problems, it's easier to break it down. It's easier for your brain to compartmentalize or divide the problem into chunks. And that brings me to the point that I made, that if you understand the problem that you're solving, then it's easier to find the tools to solve that problem. But if you don't understand the problem that you're solving, then it doesn't matter how many programming languages or toolkits you learn, you probably struggle.
That is solid advice. And off the back of that, you mentioned children and learning. So now for a silly question, you mentioned that you have two children, right?
Mhm.
Remind me again, how old are they?
One is 5 this May, and the other is 2 next month.
Which one's your favorite?
Depends on the particular moment. So the elder one is more prone to complaining.
Of course.
So when he starts complaining, he's my least favorite. But the other one, the smaller one, is more of a bully.
Oh, okay.
He just takes what he wants from especially his elder brother, and he has no qualm in going and just smacking him on the head for no reason. At that point, it's sometimes I'm in the middle. I feel proud of him, but I also dislike the fact that he did that. So it's different. I don't know. It's not a clear answer to that. But I would say it varies. But the elder one is very emotional. He's very sensitive, and he's very caring about everybody else. So that I really enjoy. But then he also suffers because of that, because he's that sensitive. The
Yeah.
younger one is more like, I don't give an F.
Well,
If
the younger
I
kids are
want
always
it, I'll take it.
second born is always like that. Second kid's like, yeah, I don't give a mother.
Yeah,
They're
and
gangsters.
I kind of like that as well. I don't know. Probably I shouldn't encourage it, but if sometimes they get into a fight, and the elder one is at fault, the younger one just physically pulls and throws him off. And they're both 3 years difference, but they're almost close in weight. So the younger one is a bit more
Oh, he's bigger.
chunky and
Okay.
solid, and he can actually lift and throw the elder one.
Oh,
And
wow.
that makes me feel proud.
Yeah.
I don't think I should say that, but
No, that is the most diplomatic answer I've had to that question. Like some people freeze, some people refuse to answer it. Similar one I had before was someone said the one that's annoying me least that day. But that your answer was
that's
very
exactly.
diplomatic.
It's almost that.
Very good.
Almost
The
that.
best one was a couple of weeks ago. I had someone on, and he has 3 children, and he named one. He went, boom, no hesitation, name that child. I was like, that's on the internet forever, bro. You can't say that.
Yeah.
Debbie's asking what are their ages. If I remember correctly, you said 5 and 2. Is that right?
5 and 2. Yeah.
5 and 2. 5 and 2. Thank you for humoring me. I realize that's a ridiculous question.
No. It is for me. I mean, it is why I'm doing things.
Yep. Oh, being a dad is awesome, isn't it? Like it changes your whole mindset. Like it's scary, but it changes your whole mindset.
It is mental.
Yep.
You are a different person. You're like,
Yep.
Yeah, you're a different person, and sometimes you just want to escape and run away and disappear for a while.
Like now that I'm a parent, I now realize that my parents hadn't, I said no idea what they were doing, but they were making this up as they were going along. Like,
oh yeah, 100%, 100%. I mean,
And
for us, first one was everything was very, oh my God, what do we do? Everything was sterilized. The pacifiers, the milk feeding bottles, everything was double boiled.
Yep.
The eating areas, the tables were all disinfected. Second one, I pick stuff from with my feet and give it back to him.
You haven't got time to be doing that with 2. Yeah, you've got time to do it. Oh, that reminds me. What does your wife do for a living, by the way?
She's currently working with Amazon with the business support.
Cool.
Because she speaks French, English, Spanish. So
wow,
she's an intelligent person. Don't know what she saw in me though. I can't understand.
Just had a thought. All right. What language do you guys speak when you're at home? And when your kids speak English, what accent do they have?
The elder one, he has a neutral accent.
Okay.
Right? Because between us, we speak English, me and Joanna.
Yep.
I speak with my kids only in my native language, which is from the south of India, called Malayalam.
The way it should be. Keep it alive.
Yeah, yep. I only use that. He responds back using some of the words and then English.
Yep.
I suppose because me and herself, we speak English, so he uses that for
the common one
response. Yeah. But he understands what I'm telling him. Then she speaks only French with them. So French is almost their first language because she speaks a lot.
I'm going to clip that bit up to get you in trouble, man. That's going to go viral because she speaks a lot. Pause.
So they get more exposed to the language. And then in school, they are exposed to Spanish and Catalan. So 5 languages, poor children.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
It's nice. I mean, I truly believe multiple languages is very good for people.
It's great for cognition, just generally like your mind and keeping things going. We're almost at the hour mark. I think we should wrap this up. But before we do, again, do you have any more questions for me? And do you have one kind of nugget or drop of wisdom you want to share with people before I hit end stream? That's 2 things.
Oh boy, the only thing that comes to mind is none of us are getting out of here alive. Chill out.
I'm glad you added the chill out at the end because that was quite dark. If you don't add the chill out, that's just
it's pragmatic. I mean, I look at things when we have arguments or issues. Generally, most of the time, my first question is somebody going to die because of this? If the answer is no, that's fine.
Your wife must love you.
I wonder why I'm still alive most of the time, but yeah.
All right. On that note, I'm going to say, Pratheesh, thank you for joining me. I've been Dayle Rodriguez. This is Flabonga Monthrothacube. Debbie, Mahul, other people are viewing. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for commenting. I'm going to hit end stream and we're going to roll out. Let's